Wow.
And then I believe like
Draft time.
Draft time. You know what? EVOS Glory first pick, and MLBB Flash second pick. Angela instantly banned out.
Which makes sense.
Angela.
The Angeling, nobody wants to go up against her right now. Terizla finally on the ban list, which is pretty huge, I feel like.
And a priority ban as well. However, this will close out the fact that you ban Chip and Louis as well, so that might be the last true ban for Nip Flash, I would say.
Do we get the Chip Louis trade here? We haven't seen that in a while.
Oh, right.
What if they leave it open?
That's interesting because I don't know what you would take if that is open. I would take the Chip over the Louis.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of like the Louis.
Okay.
I think I'm on the side of the Louis. But again, I haven't seen the Chip since the Louis
Exactly.
nerf and compared.
No.
Like,
no, here's the thing.
Never mind,
I would compare Chip to a Fanny, where I would say it's very difficult to do. But you know the big difference is, Fanny, if you die alone. Chip, when you make a mistake, you die as a team.
Yeah, you
That's
always
true.
pull up with the homies.
Yep.
Chip.
Yeah. No, I agree.
The reason why I would pick up the Chip is that there's a lot of good mid laners out there. Like Navaria would be the counter to the Louis if that in that case. Like Faramis would be great with the Chip as well. That would be a very interesting interaction. But yeah, but this time doesn't matter. Louis is banned, and so will be the Chip. I couldn't imagine NAP Flash giving that up.
Harif has been not winning a lot, huh?
What was it?
Harif, because
Harith.
it was basically a permanent ban for quite a while, but now teams are letting it go, and then teams are actually getting those Ws.
So in this scenario, you pick up the Ling first, right? Because if this will be Harith, it will immediately be countered by a Ling from NAP Flash. And I'm pretty sure that Mark, aka Hades, played that hero quite a while. But instead, you can pick up something like Valentina if you want to just become very open about it, because Valentina is an answer to both Ling as well as the Harith. So now EVOS wants NAP Flash to choose Ling or Harith, or maybe even both, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
go crazy.
Right now, you know, you brought up the Harith Lafel, and I feel like for the first time, Gold Lane doesn't, even though Moskov and Harith are kind of the two mains, it doesn't feel like they're the only choices. It feels like Gold Lane is very open right now. And right here, I like the Roger pick because, like what we've seen, the flexibility from it. They have the Cho to go along with it. And right now, Nip Flash just leaving themselves very open.
Yep. With this Cho, as well as this Roger, you're now incentivized to pick up the Roger for the side of EVOS. The Harith, because EVOS really likes that. Brands also plays that a lot. But I think Ling is just so good to just pass up on, and they pick up the Ruby, which is a direct answer to the Cho.
And the Roger.
And the Roger. Obviously, Ruby counters the Wave the Dragon. You kind of cancel it, the animation. And Roger doesn't want to run around with the Ruby out there. So it will be the Farsa answer as a Valentina. Yeah, looking good for EVO's Glory so far. It's they're getting all of their heroes that they're comfortable with.
Which is crazy because lore-wise, I would say Roger. Roger wants to go for the Ruby, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right. But you know, in game it's like Ruby's the big muscular, you know, gal is looking at Roger is like wolf, run away. But either way, we got to talk about the opening here because it does look like NMP Flash kind of wanted EVOS to pick up the Ling anyway. Yeah. So this is a situation where you're prepared to fight against this. Now it's all about the execution.
Yeah, but the Farsa pick is a little scary into a Ling. I feel like there's just a lot of possibilities to get bombed down on, especially knowing the way that we've been seeing Anavel play. Anavel's I come in about halfway through the fight, or I'm out, I'm in, I'm out, and I'm in. So Anavel's main target right now, wait for Feathered Airstrike to come down and then jump.
Yeah, exactly. That means that if you're EVOS, you're going to be looking for EXP lane bans here, or there you go, the usual. Maybe force Diablo to play an unorthodox hero. I think NIP Flash are still comfortable picking up the Julian as their last pick. Maybe they pick up the EXP lane in their fourth pick. Franco has been banned, maybe a Tigreal ban as well, as it is one of those heroes that Dreams really likes to play and is very adept with it as well.
Since the recent buff to the Cho, have we seen it all in the XP lane as well as roam, or has it just solely been used as a roamer? Yeah. Is there some flexibility to it?
Definitely. Not even, not seen in the wild card so far as well as for the group stages, but I think it can be played in the XP definitely. But you'll be surprised how it can be played in the jungle as well.
Ooh. Yeah. Jungle Cho. Paquito against Cho, who do you think would win?
Paquito against Cho, like just EXP. In a straight up fight?
Before level 4, say level 1, level 2, like that.
Oh wait, in a fight like we're not talking about real life.
No, yeah.
Before level 4, I think the Cho right now with the recent buff because of what he gets like the stunt, all the crazy
No,
stuff.
honestly, he did win. Yeah, he does win. Like watching.
But maybe slight mechanical, right?
No, watching the streamers, Cho is that guy, man. Like the damage coming in from this guy, even as a roam, is spectacular. Now we've seen the bans over Franco as well as Grog getting banned. Now in EVOS Glory banning out the Yuzong as well as the Masha. Yeah. So now NIP Flash.
Julian looks good, as well as Arlet. Arlet looks also good for.
What if we see them both go for Ruby Gold or double fighter off lanes for both of them? Double fighter off.
That is highly likely to. Yeah, I like that you brought that up because it's the benefit of getting these support. But of course,
denied.
Hades special going to be the Fredrin. EVOS.
I mean, he see values in him.
Yeah, you should.
He should.
Got a 50% win rate right now. The Fredrin, you know, we've been wondering if the Fred's dead. You know, if the Fred is out, but it seems like he's still hanging on for dear life. Game fact, though.
Louis boasts a 100% win rate across 7 games since the wild card stage.
Yeah.
How is she let through been this much?
Yeah.
7 games.
Again, Louis, it's criminal to let go of the lead without an answer. Look, EVOS going to be looking for probably their EXP this time. Arlet looks really good on their composition. So is the Barretts that you actually pair up with the Ling. When the Ling, there he is, the Barretts. Maybe, you know what? Let's go with the Matilda, but yeah, they did go for the carry this time. Roger versus carry. And if you're looking for a Barrett Scouter, X-Borg looks really good for NIP Flash. Or maybe a Benedetta so that they can at least force the carry. Apart from that, there's really not much. Or a CC. What if NIP Flash goes for CC?
It'd be a good answer to the Barats, right?
Yeah, Barats, the Ling in a way.
Be able to dance around. I think I would like to see them with a little more maybe crowd control overall, but there's not a lot of answers for them. I mean, they do have the pick off, right? They have the Cho, but other than that, the Khalid.
Yeah.
Actually be good. And it's a good, like, if...
Oh! There it is!
King's calling. Mincetar's calling. That's a spicy pick.
I love it.
To go up against the Ling. To
Ling Ruby.
Yeah. Like...
Carry as well.
Dude.
It's great.
Casters.
Love it.
We talk about Diablo. Diablo said he's excited. So, Casters, are you excited?
We are excited for this matchup again. Thank you guys so much on the analyst stand. Breaking down the lineups we have here, of course, from NIP Flash and EVOS Glory as they approach this first matchup for them today. Could be a crucial one. We'll find out. No guts, no glory. Both these teams going after getting to the knockout stage here. Once again, I'm Naisu, joined here with Mirko, and we're loading into the Land of Dawn in this best of 2 second match for Group A. Can NIP Flash further their dominance, the lead that they got yesterday, or can EVOS Glory settle the score here? Starting here, bringing some shake-up to Group A as we jump in. We look at the emblems fall into place. Of course, you still have Annabelle, like we saw yesterday, the great performance from this Ling pick. Warcry emblem here. And over on the flip side, I know you guys have to keep your eye on Diablo. This Mincetar pickup could work wonders for the lineup here for NIP.
For sure. I think this Mincetar pick was amazing. We saw the, shocked, surprised reactions from the analysts as well. And even for us, we were like, whoa, Mincetar pickup up against so many dashes. It makes sense, everybody here almost can get countered hard, but no guts, no glory. You mentioned it earlier, and it is going to be the case for EVOS Glory. It's all about risking in the early game, all the way even from the drafts, to try to get that lead. And they won't be able to take the dub without making those risks happen early on, though. How do you expect this matchup to go? It seems Clockland's doing a good job now with the help of Dreams too. Curtizi's going to be zoned away from that mid lane. But the Mincetar up against the Barats, it's more of a passive lane until he gets the King's Calling.
Yeah, definitely. That's something you want to be able to utilize and play around with. King's Calling is such a game-changing ultimate. It can be, especially if you're able to follow through with the rest of the utility that's offered here from NIP Flash's lineup. I mean, time and time again, we still talk about how Fredrin isn't the pick that still teams can rely on. And you're going Fredrin versus a Ling. So the tempo is going to be a little bit different here. Good poke, obviously, from Diablo, working actually pretty well against this Barretts. I mean, the last time we also saw Barretts work in the side lane, it's been a long time, man. It's been a minute and a half in my time. And Barretts just is better in the jungle, but so far he's kind of had to find a new place to really play into this meta. So with that, first turtle of the game is going to go ahead and start up, and Fluffy will be the one to kind of give the information why Anavel works on that orange buff. So they buy enough time. It doesn't look like NIP Flash wants to just overly commit because they could get punished. Looking at it as well as they just kind of stall this out. They're going to go ahead and grab it, the purple buff for now. And they get enough information. EVOS Glorious is like, you know what? Let's go ahead. Anavel, go grab your purple, and then we'll prep up for this fight.
Great response by NIP Flash here around first turtle. A lot of teams up against Anavel's link. Now the grab into Dreams, right into the King's Calling, and now into the Feather Airstrike with the Appraiser's Wrath too. And Hades will be able to claim that now as Diablo flickers out to safety. That's just welcome going on to JPL, spinning him out to stun him on the wall. Still with the flicker out now with the shampoo as well. It's a big win for NIP Flash. They get the neutral objective and the kill.
Man, NIP Flash really on point with the way that they're kind of maneuvering around this objective already. Even impressively to see that they couldn't get JPL down. They get the objective, good setup. Daytona's Welcome also playing its part in that whole exchange. So, you know, with that EVOS Glory, not, you know, the start they wanted to the first objective, but nothing too crazy, because if you look at the macro play, economically, they're just holding it together. First items not falling into place just yet across the board, but some should be picked up here shortly, especially with the build path that we might see Anavel go here. Hold on.
Boy, the Dragon, JPL finding it for the airstrike right into the combo, and Hades is there to follow it up as well. Now the top of the blaze on the JPL, trying to go for the trade right now as he picks up one Defiant Blade, but Hades is able to knock him up. And Appraiser's Wrath too, just trying to catch him in that wall, but he won't be able to. Meanwhile though, Vanix taking a lot of shots onto that turret shield.
That's a lot of extra gold, and if you think about it, like I was saying, and just previously before that little skirmish broke out, you know, EVOS Glory was doing a good job holding it together, but some of that extra gold from that top turret now going to the hands of Vanix here helps bump the lead up just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. But JPL really trying to make this Cho work. You know, we saw this. Oh, wow. Okay, not going to land. I'm offended, able to escape that just fine. Once again, the power of this Cho pick, and so back to it. And NIP Flash, it really just looks like they're trying to make plays with JPL for now. If they can start a fight, if they can get a pick off, great. If they can't, that's fine too, because the lineup that they have provides good chances to scale up into the mid-game even. And so Clockhoon even holding on to this Feathered Airstrike, just holding down the mid lane. It's going to come down to this. Every single time, oh, hold on.
The hook into the King's Calling, locking him down now with the stun, as well as JPL walks up to get the passive down. With the physical defense shred, Diablo gets rid of him. No Dreams to play with. JPL with the way the Dragon brings Fluffy back right into the hook as well, but JPL will lose his life as Temple of the Blaze finds him. Now that's welcome, but he will be taken out before he can even go for the spit out. Vanix still now with the team. It's 2 for 1 as of right now with the trade, but Dreams has respawned back in. Hook not connecting. Clockhoon still looking for an angle as Brandon Anavel hovers over, postures up. Dreams now with a flicker forward. Don't run Wolf King straight into the I'm offended as Anavel steals away the turtle. Now Hades trying to go for the peel, but Diablo gets stabbed in the back. The Appraiser's Wrath not connecting. Great sidestep from Anavel. NIP Flash forced back.
Talk about the discipline from EVOS Glory. Anavel as well to just wait for that whole exchange to happen from NIP Flash and then swoop on in and get the turtle, and then they even get a kill on top of it. So that is a great pull through for EVOS Glory. I mean, looking at how things are falling into place, they're also going to be able to get this tier 1 turn in the bot lane. You saw the gold difference between the lanes, and really for Anavel, even if sometimes he can't find his entry point, he can't get the kills he's looking for, the fact that he's 2-0 and he's really difficult to catch here for NIP Flash. I mean, look at this great setup once again, utilizing Diablo here on the Mincetar JPL, but then he commits and he gets taken out right away. Now, they do accomplish probably what they were after, but they didn't want to lose the turtle. Eventually, they end up losing the turtle because of that whole exchange, and they find themselves at that situation that I just mentioned. Anavel goes in, grabs it, and then they pick up some kills on top of it. Diablo to fall to Anavel. And so now at this point, he's got the Berserker's Fury locked in. He's working on the next item here. And with the Warcry emblem, you know, you might be thinking, man, it's only 8%. But with a Ling, and so far from what we've seen just yesterday, that's enough to just be that big of a threat. Meanwhile, what you're doing here for EVOS Glory is just letting Brands farm up. He just picked up the Golden Staff. He has, you know, a couple items locked in at this point, but he's essentially just having a good time and the gold lane farming up.
And at this point, I feel like for Diablo, hold up, JPL again with a G-Kundo, not able to find anyone, right into the Diamond Fitted and right into the shredded Brands. The fadeaways, Fluffy gets taken down by the Lycan Pounce of Vanix to trade 1-for-1 XP for Rome. Still in favor of NIP Flash as Hades walks up. Back to the point. Feels like for Diablo at least. Now Feather Airstrike catching Clockun, forcing him to use the Purify as Hades continues the chase for a bit. With Clockun so low, with him using the Purify, they're going to go straight for the Turtle. But take a look at Annabelle. Already with Finch Poise rotating over. Has a Divine Blade, gets shut up as well. On the wall, the Retribution not there. Vanix picks it up as Annabelle is forced to retreat. Dreams as well, forced to flicker across the wall, right into Brands as he now tries to escape as well. Vanix will be able to go for the chase. Just a bit of a flicker from Diablo to bring Dreams all the way back for Vanix to get rid of him. Annabelle securing the endless battle. NIP Flash taking its all.
Spear of Glory, more like the Spear of Diablo. So far, he's been able to be on the mark with this Mincetar. And it's something that EVOS Glory always has to be aware of. They have to be careful of. It's not just the King's Calling. It's just the Spear of Glory to be pulled in. We're going to take a look at the replay brought to us by STC. You look at this. He tried to go in. Annabelle tried to get the turtle. He was too late. Ooh. So Vanix ends up cleaning it up, and then they follow through. Once again, finding a kill on the bottom side, and then you see it. But hold on, also on the live.
I'm offended on the JPL, not able to escape this time. Fluffy stomps on him. Diablo getting the King's Calling onto two members, straight into the hook as well. But the Purify from Brands gets him out to safety. Purple buff secured by Annabelle as he's able to find some blades there. NIP Flash, again, just trying to reset, but trying still to utilize that fast tempo.
Yeah, that was all just to get the purple buff too, you know, like NIP Flash wants to fight. Actually, at this point, Miracle, I think it's safe to say every team just wants to fight. We're in this like new era where you just fight, you're duking out, whether it's for resources, whether it's for the turtles, the lords, you just fight and try to get this snowball in your favor.
No Tempest Ablaze, now with the Finch Poise, Annabelle! Finch Poise, now with the retreat finds the kill. Hades able to take him down with the help of the turret shot as well. No Tempest of Blades. It was still on cooldown for Annabelle. He gets it right as he dies, which is unfortunate timing, but NIP Flash know their window. Now with the Conceal, we're able to get Fluffy into an angle to go for the death. Welcome right to the name. I'm offended with JPL. Gets away the Dragon onto Brands. He doesn't have the Purify this time round. Will be chopped down on the Brazer's Wrath. Won't be able to connect just yet. Vanix now with Lycan Pounce going for another kill. Fluffy gets gunned down in the turret, and the King's Calling gets placed down for Vanix to find a triple.
NIP Flash, the team fighting is on point, layer after layer of abilities, and they'll get the turret and now make their way to reset Vanix.
Gonna be caught earlier. They're still able to escape. Annabelle won't be able to find the assassination despite him being so low. Forced to go to his own purple buff, and even then Cortese says no.
No, I mean, we're taking a look at the replay there. You know, you see that kind of unfold. It's a triple for Vanix, but it looked like, too, they just went for the reset. Now they're for this Lord. NIP Flash, again, team fighting is just on point. JPL with the Conceal.
Again, this time going to Fluffy, has it at his welcome, cancels out the way to Dragons. Hades goes in for the Razor's Wrath, but Fluffy gets brought back all the way with the hook.
The Lord?
Vanix is godlike. The Lord is low. Both teams still have the Retribution. Hades, he's taking a whole lot of that damage. Now Diablo is looking forward at the King's Calling, but he's unable to find anyone. Very, very low. Diablo still able to escape. Hades needs to find his 50-50, but it's Annabelle who steals it away from Hades to claim the Lord. Now with the chase down Dreams, unable to find anyone. Vanix still staying in the jungle. EVOS Glory finding a way to come back again.
You saw the hesitation. NIP Flash was not sure if they should continue the Lord or not. They decided to go with it, and then that gives the opportunity for Annabelle to just come in and cap it out. So now NIP Flash, despite them having great team fighting potential, they find themselves on the defense. They should be able to deal with the Lord decently well and quickly, but they're going to lose multiple turrets here now by EVOS Glory just marching towards the base. The shields might not pop just yet. NIP Flash with this lineup should be able to clear things out. But Annabelle will also take some resources from them. Also, real quick at the items falling into place, you have multiple here for Diablo. He's got 3 locked in, working on his next. And like I said, it needed time. You needed time here to build up for Brands. Well, he's got that time. He's got the 3 items locked in, and you're going to see this carry really start to shred the Fredrin even from NIP Flash. So you're looking at a lot of this initiation being said. Oh, Malefic Roar also popped up here for Anavel. And so, you know, at this point, for Vanix, he's having a heck of a game already on this Roger, and you got to stay alive. The problem that we're seeing is when he tries to entry with the Lycan Pounce, go into a fight, this is where Dreams really pays off with the Ruby pick. And also, Daytona's welcome. There's so many tools here that EVOS Glory can use to deal with if NIP Flash decides to initiate or follow up. So that makes it even more difficult for Vanix, despite him, you know, topping the damage board.
No, Diablo try to go for the hook. He gets pulled back instead. Right into the depths. Welcome with the flicker as well, but JPL finds the way to drag it into the back line. Diablo flickers forward, but gets shredded instead. JPL, Immortality pop, Annabelle waiting for the moment to go in, and Vanix gets completely assassinated by Annabelle. As Fluffy picks up the double kill, Curtizi will have to go on the wings by wings as he gets chased down by Clockwood, who has stolen the Lycan Pounce.
This can't be the end, though. NIP Flash will be able to defend despite losing 3 members in the exchange. We'll see if they can hold on to the turrets. Templess of Blades already going to be utilized. Mid-turret does go down. EVOS Glory might punch it in.
Feather Airstrip with a flicker as well. They don't find I'm offended. They cancel out the Feather Airstrip with the mini waves have been dealt with. Hades tries to go with one last Appraiser's Wrath, but Brands goes for the base. Now onto Curtizi, who gets melted down. Diablo able to fend off for now, getting the waves cleared out, but they will lose 2 big base turrets in 13th minute of the game.
EVOS Glory happy with that. They got the 2 base turrets. NIP Flash holds on to one. Lord coming up in 14 seconds. EVOS Glory in a great position to possibly just take the Lord unless NIP Flash wants to do something about it. But you can see already JPL on that front side might go in with a concealed plate to try to delay this a little bit further. They're going to have to make their way as this Lord is going down quickly with a completely zoned out here by Fluffy, and that's going to be the Lord already secured, so NIP Flash will find themselves with their backs against the wall once again on the defense.
Some of these plays from NIP Flash, it was so good at the early stage of the game, but they weren't able to adjust properly in the mid-game, Naisu. Diablo flickering forward with the King's Calling. In the early game, you can get away with that. But in the late game, with all these items already built up by EVOS Glory, he's the one who gets melted down, so he's actually placing himself in a position where it's just not great for a Mincithar, especially a full glass cannon Mincithar.
Yeah, you glass cannon here, and especially against Brands with this carry who has had just a time to farm up freely and is really shining at this point of the game. They're going to go on the defense.
Fluffy's still in the midst of it all right now, taking a lot of damage as JPL goes to the back but gets shredded down by Brands. Again, as the King's Calling plays up, but Diablo gets melted down again. It's Brands against the world, and Hades gets slashed down by the swords of Anavel. 4-0, 4-1 as EVOS Glory take game 1.
And EVOS Glory will come out swinging in this series against NIP Flash, the top of Group A after yesterday, and now it looks like they're going to be put to the test here from the teams. And so far, Group A is still just up in the air with this result already. And EVOS Glory looking so good here with the way that they responded to the interesting lineup. Like we talked about, no guts, no glory. Was there some testing or experimenting that could happen here? The Mincithar pick, like we mentioned, was not able to work out the way the NIP Flash wanted to, but I know the guys on the desk, the panelist stand, have a lot to say. Let's throw it over to them to hear what they have to say.
We definitely have a lot to say because EVOS Glory was able to win this match and deny NIP Flash from advancing to the knockout stage. They can still advance, but a clean 2-0 is not going to be in the books here. But what do you guys feel about the game?
Yeah, it didn't feel like the NIP Flash are getting all of the good stops in the early stages. I think that they develop a good box out of their Fredrin. However, they kind of just let go of the grip. And I think that you can see that EVOS Glory has the better experience as well as the better understanding of this box versus box type of strategy, wherein they're just maintaining their own formation. There will be a clash up top which we are going to see NIP Flash win horribly just because of the fact that Curtis is not landing shots anymore. Diablo's not getting into the proper spot. This is one of those times where eventually NIP Flash will win a team fight with a triple kill. But around the Lord, because they didn't have Hades to secure that Lord position, they weren't able to do so. So they were already winning after this, but they failed after that good formation.
I mean, even with the good formation, though, I have to point out that EVOS almost consistently held a gold lead there. Or even when they were behind a few kills, they were bare, you know, NIP Flash was never really escaping with it. I don't know if it's because they weren't transitioning those kills into objectives or what the exact goal was. Maybe it was because the Ling was able to really move around the map and stay farmed up, to whereas when NIP Flash wanted to, you know, go for those kills, you have Hades essentially giving up jungle, right? Or not farming his own jungle.
And this is mainly, yeah, you're very true. You nailed it right in the head there. It's Annabelle just getting the farm when everything is just going awry for EVOS. Like, there will be a lot of team fights that NIP Flash will eventually win, but because of the split pushing tactics coming out from Annabelle and his Ling, now we can see that it is very effective when it comes to like just making sure that the farm is always up.
You know what? That was an amazing performance coming in from EVOS Glory, because from my perspective, EVOS is one of the pride of Indonesia, where out of all the M series, the very first one, the franchise EVOS was able to win that one for Indonesia. And I feel like now they're representing a lot, because if they win this MSC, it's really going to bring back the brand to its prominent form, especially looking at Annabelle. He did this, okay? Annabelle is really bringing it to his team, because whenever something goes wrong, everyone is willing to throw their own body just so that Annabelle can succeed. And if Annabelle succeeds, the team wins, strikes.
I mean, Annabelle's just been, I feel like even from playoffs to MSC and everything, Annabelle has just been a star player, has kind of grown overall. And at this point, for me, feels like he's part of the brand of not only EVOS, but like Indonesia in general, right? A lot of people like to kind of put the assassins in Indonesia together, you know, the aggressive play style, you know, the in-your-face play style, and that's what Annabelle brings to the stage right now, and I'm all for it.
And we got to talk about NIP Flash as well, even though they lost. But again, they're looking to put Singapore on the map. This is an all-star team coming in from Singapore. And again, the early mid is pretty good. But like we've said, you got an advantage, but they could not hold on to that advantage.
Yeah. It's like they have to consistently keep on doing and making this good formation around the Farsas was the Frederick. And of course, take advantage of this Minsitar pickup. Because again, niche picks like the Minsitar, which is very much targeted to counter opponents, he has to have near to perfect execution almost all the time. It's not like a one-size-fits-all or end-all be-all kind of strategy wherein you're always going to win the team fights. Like we saw in one of the fights that happened north of the Lord pit up top, around the Kramer area, where the Farsa ultimate was they were able to protect the Farsa, but Curtis, he cannot reach the backliners of EVOS, which then, you know, nullifies big amount of damage. I mean, even if Diablo initiates and keeps everyone in check with the King's Calling, you're not having the damage anyways, because Farsa is your main damage dealer. And when you invite the Roger into that spot, Roger should be the one to just clean up, because that's the idea of Roger, right? The Farsa will be dealing damage, but wasn't enough in the end.
And with that, we got to look at our MVP, our Sony MVP of the game, where we are going to continue our conversation, because we got to talk about Brands, because I feel like Brands is the MVP for this game. So looking at Sony MVP, 14 KDA, 785 gold per minute, and 82% kill participation. And this guy, he, like, we heard turds where I'm playing this game with one hand behind my back. He's got both eyes closed.
I feel like he was kind of the sleeper build this game.
Yeah,
right? Like it took a second, and then once Brands really got online, he was able to shred. And even in terms of just all of the action happening around, you don't see the carry jumping from wall to wall. You don't see the carry chasing down, turning into a Lycan or anything. I mean, was able to just hold position at the right time and pop off.
And again, we're looking at the pride of Indonesia going up against the all-star team coming in from Singapore. Do you think this all-star lineup coming in from NIP Flash, they can get a win over EVOS Glory?
Absolutely. I think it's just that they have to really just brush up some of their the fundamental mistakes that they did. I think apart from banning out the Louis, the Ling also should be banned out. I think the fact that they didn't take it and allow them for them to like just pick it up and then utilize this Min Sitar, which by the way, although it made a lot of sense versus the Ling as well as the Ruby
The
and the carry.
Valentina, the carry, basically everyone except
Yeah,
Fox.
but then I don't want to pick up the Min Sitar when there's the Valentina, which we saw earlier today, earlier in the game, where Roger as well as Frederick, they're also dependent on their dashes. And the Valentina now copies the King's Calling. Now you don't have the damage
That's
output
true.
anymore, the control anymore. It's like you kind of shot yourself in the foot. Like maybe the Min Sitar really definitely, I really like that pick. I thought it was genius, but then there was a Valentina.
But another problem with the Mincy, right, is you don't really build it bulky, right? You don't really build it tanky, and it felt like every time he went in to drop the King's Calling, he's getting critted by Anavel, he's getting bursted down by the rest of the team, and he just doesn't have enough time to actually do anything or get to the back line or find the exact hero that he needs to actually drop the King's Calling on. It just seemed to be a problem, and in such a bursty meta, can an EXP laner like that actually survive with the lack of movement, with the lack of bulkiness? He's not a thick triple C boy, you know?
Yeah, I would say
Triple C.
they have the right idea, and I would even say the execution was okay. Could have been better, definitely, but it was okay. It's just that, like I say, even I didn't think about it. The Valentina is one of those picks that can really turn things around. So if the Valentina is up, you got to figure out that it could bury your own draft as well. So I would say this is more like, sure, NIP Flash made mistakes, but I think this is more on EVOS Glory understanding how to play the game and capitalizing on the mistakes that NIP Flash had and actually making those mistakes look pretty big for EVOS Glory.
Yeah, I think they have to match fire with fire. I believe that Ling versus utility junglers is very hard to pull off unless you have like Baksha Angela going up against Ling. That could be the way for you to just really take over, but it's not usually the choice. I think they should have matched it with Julian, which I kind of prescribed. Frederick didn't really look good in that game, you know.
Now, I got an update for you guys because if you guys remember, we were talking about STC predictions, and EVOS is actually favored to win against NIP Flash. Shout out to those of you guys who predicted to EVOS because they're up 1-0. So again, lock in your predictions at the where the prediction is supposed to be. So
QR code.
But here's the thing. They predicted EVOS to win that one, which is great. Which, by the way, you guys can go to GG/esports-world-cup. Again, that's stcc play.gg/esports-world-cup. Dude, like
You're doing a great job.
dude, like
Slash dash,
I'm
dash
doing,
with slash.
I'm doing martial arts
the
here,
link.
but yeah, prediction. What do you guys think? Like, help out our audience here. Do you feel like EVOS Glory could get a 2-0?
So it's still a 1-1 for me.
Still a 1-1?
Yeah, it's just fix the drop, match fire with fire. If they want to give the Ling, pick up the Julian or an assassin. If they give the utility, match it up with a utility or something like that. Yeah.
I think with the momentum, EVOS might be able to 2-0 this, and I want to see the groups get even more just tied up. So I'm all in the boat for EVOS taking game number 2.
Yeah. You want that tie? You want like a
I'm trying to hang out here all night.
Like more round robins going
Yeah.
on. You're like, hey, you know what?
Whole way.
All the way, bro.
All the way. Me and you.
All the way.
All the way. Tonight.
All the way. You know what? Make it until tomorrow.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. But now we got to talk about game number 2, where we saw that EVOS Glory did lose when the Ling gets banned out to the point where they're forced to pick up the X-Borg. So honestly, it could, like, here's the thing. If NIP Flash, again, the all-star team coming in from Singapore, if they ban out the Ling and then they win, what does this mean as a whole? Going up against EVOS Glory, just ban the Louis, ban the Ling, and then you're good?
Like I said, you still have to ban the Louis, number 1. Or maybe secure the blue side this time, perhaps. Just force first EVOS to then ban the Louis. Next is answer the Ling. So there are a couple of answers. I think their idea of picking up the Cho is, I would say, admirable, but I think heroes like Tigreal that has a better, control would be better. Or maybe just match it with the Julian, So, yeah, I think getting the blue side for NIP Flash solves most of their problems.
Most definitely, and the draft is going to be starting. But here's my big question.
Ooh, this is so cool.
I want to. we have the replay screen at our feet
Yeah, you guys,
right now.
you
It's
guys don't know what's
actually
going on, but
really
this is so cool.
This is very, very cool, actually. You mentioned the Luyi and the chip. I'm still thinking, what if you ban out the Ling, and again you go for the and you ban out the Roger or something, and you go for the trade on the chip Luyi?
Yeah.
Man, I think I'm waiting to see where the draft really evolves to, because I have a feeling bans might start evolving. And even though Vanix didn't have the greatest game last night, his Roger win like 7-0. 8-0 for a while of the game, so we know that Roger's still a super dangerous pick. This time NIP Flash will be on blue side, so it's actually going to be EVOS who are forced to ban out this chip and most likely Luyi.
Yeah. Well, they ban Ling with the chip, with Luyi, maybe a Fairness ban eventually afterwards. I think a
Moscow.
Okay. In this case, I think if you're NIP Flash, you ban Valentina. Because EVOS will not hesitate picking up that Valentina afterwards. So even if you pick up the Luyi, at least you force EVOS to be creative, like get the Luyi, get the Varia, for example, or maybe a Fairness.
We
So I
said
think,
NIP
Valentina.
bans out the Valentina?
Yeah,
Yeah.
NIP.
Well,
Valentina.
then
pick
I
up
think
something like
EVOS
Fairness?
has to ban out the Luyi, right?
Yes.
Like ban out the ban out Valentina, ban out Louis, and pick up something like a Faramis or Roger.
Yeah,
Roger, I feel like is your best bet up front, right?
that's right. Yeah, Harith obviously.
Harith too, yeah.
I mean, Harry has, you know, it's
Yeah,
been
that's-
shaky.
it's-
It's been shaky.
It's sussy.
Like, there's
Something.
answers for it now.
A Roger.
Ooh.
Okay. So
They want to contest the Valentina.
they want to get to Valentina. So it seems. Are you forced to ban the Luyi?
Or do you leave it open and trade for Val? I guess you have to ban.
You
it.
have to ban
If
them.
you're going by Coating Wolf lead analysis of the desk, you ban the Luyi no matter what.
Yes.
I mean,
That's
100% win rate, man. You can't argue with numbers.
It's true.
Yep. Especially in the group stages where a 1-1 is totally different from a 0.
Now
Okay.
That's a
There you
switch
go.
up.
Okay, so
Can I change my vote? 1-1?
Sure. What are you going for? You feel like it's NIP Flash going to be winning this one?
If they take the
if
they take the Luyi.
Oh, imagine if they don't, right?
I know, then I'll be like, can I switch my vote again?
if they don't pick up the Luyi, that's again criminal.
Criminal, as Wolf would say.
Yeah.
You belong in
hold
a
your breath.
cell. There it is.
Ah,
There's
they
your
pick up the
Luyi.
Luyi. All right.
Okay, so do you pick up Harith now for brands? I believe so. And another answer is Arlet, actually. So Arlet Harith for EVOS, I believe?
Arlot Harith,
Yeah.
definitely solid. And again, you give yourself some flexibility with the R-Lot.
Yeah.
Definitely not against it. Roger's gone, so yeah, I think you definitely pick up the Harith here, right? Because no Moskov, no Roger.
Yeah.
And
What if they have this idea they want brands on the Claude? Because we've seen this time and time again where, you know, it may or may
Yeah.
not make sense, but they're like, you know, we gotta
Yeah.
give brands the Claude.
It's one of their comfort picks. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Ooh.
Ruby and Hayabusa immediately.
And that's already kind of foreshadowing a possible Ruby Gold there.
just say-
flexibility.
Foreshadowing
Oh,
the four shadows of
I meant to do
Hayabusa.
that. I meant to do that.
That was totally on purpose.
Totally on
Totally on
purpose.
But yeah, we talked about this pick, right? Because we were talking, okay, if Blaine gets banned out, what other assassins? And Hayabusa is definitely on the table where the farming speed now is just as fast as Nolan. So as good as Nolan is, having the Hayabusa where you can also contest those neutral objectives when you're using your own Shadow Q, you can still use your retreat. That's a big pickup for EVOS Glory.
That's right.
And you have tons of escapability if a weird diversion play comes at you. Not only that, but with the Ruby against something like the Luyi, they want to group up. There's the Paquito.
There's the Paquito.
Picado.
Paquito, Picado,
And I think Flash is going to be reserving their cores afterwards, which is kind of smart because Ruby is also a flex pick. In this scenario, you pick up Barretts if you're EVOS or maybe a Teresa. Obviously, Teresa is really, really good in this composition. Or maybe, again, Arlet, which is another flex for EVOS if they want to go all-in flex. So I'm thinking like somewhere along the lines of Terizla, Barretts, and Arlet here for EVOS.
Honestly, I feel like the Terizla is a good pickup, but it kind of almost shows your Ruby where it's going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like letting you know this will probably go to gold, maybe in the wrong position. I feel like you need your mid, so they pick up the Faramis. Faramis is a very good pickup, and then at this point, I would say it's a skill matchup, right? Because the Faramis can get countered by Luyi because you want to group up, but Luyi kind of wants you to group up as well. So with the draft coming in from EVOS Glory, I feel like the thing that I want to say about the draft is that they have options. They don't have a front-to-back kind of composition. They can kind of take whatever they want when it comes to the team fights. Flank, coming from side, like either ways, they have options.
I love options.
Yeah.
What do we think this Paquito is, though, right? Do we think...
Oh,
Do you
right.
think it's jungle, maybe?
I like how you think, boy.
Sky Piercer Paquito in
Yep.
the jungle?
I haven't seen that in pubs and in ranked matches, but I kind of we know that teams actually like it. Look at that Bane ban from EVOS. Really wanted to protect this Faramis, which by the way I feel is a very genius idea from EVOS. And the reason why is, if you think about the Faramis, it's countered by both Edith as well as Lapu-Lapu, right? And those two heroes can no longer be picked up by NIP Flash because they've already revealed this Grok as well as this Paquito. So Edith as well as Lapu-Lapu are out of the picture, unless of course this Paquito will be eventually a jungler.
Okay, so I think if NIP Flash doesn't ban out the Riz or anything here, doesn't ban too heavy into EXP, there's a higher chance that this Paquito could be a jungler, because they're still looking for an EXP possibly. On the side of EVOS, last ban, it's kind of a top, both teams.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of flexibility overall.
Maybe ban the marksman out, like something that can disrupt brands. Like the Harif is still open.
They could ban the Claude because it counters the Faramis, right?
Faramis, yeah.
True. But
Claude is
again,
great. Beatrix is also great for NIP Flash.
oh yeah.
I don't think that it will be banned out though, but it is a good pick for NIP Flash eventually if they will pick it up. They banned Baksha, so they're gonna be limiting the heroes for Hades, forcing him on Fredrin, which Fredrin really struggles in this case. And we did say the Barrett's Arlot, right, for EVOS as their EXP lane choices. And I like the Barrett's ban here. Maybe coupled up with the Terizla ban for NIP Flash.
Yuzong, it's crazy enough, it's still open, which I think is possible to actually disrupt the Luyi.
Yeah, definitely. I think Yuzong, I feel like no matter what, just like a solid pick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always able to kind of add some utility to your composition. So EVOS is going to be first pick here. What do we think they're looking for?
Okay, so I think this will be Arlot.
Or Yuzong?
Or Yuzhong, like I said.
I mean, no matter what, they're going to reveal, right, where this Ruby is going. If they pick up a roam, then probably the Ruby is going to the EXP.
Yeah. Or gold.
Or
gold.
Or
Actually,
they just
you know
go, yeah.
At that point, maybe pick up the...
Oh,
They can still pick up a roamer, like a Minotaur.
Benedetta is
I know,
typically
yeah.
picked up against the Paquito, so this could also be a... Or maybe, how about an Esmeralda, actually? EVOS. Oh, this... Look, Esmeralda's great versus Paquito versus Luyi. Shields in there. And also Grok.
We're theory crafting at this point. We are.
Yeah.
This is what the meta is right now. It's like
I mean, it's
a
healthy,
tough
right?
draft. Yeah,
It's
no,
healthy.
it's super healthy.
And it prevents a Harith pickup eventually. Oh, you
But they go for Yuzong. Look, sometimes the boring one is the right one. We talked about it. The Yuzong can actually do something against this Luyi. And again,
It's great.
the Luyi has a
honestly.
100% win rate. You got to respect it.
Yeah, it's still
great,
possibility though, man. They could still pick up like a roam here and shove Ruby into the gold. The damage Ruby has been pretty vicious, and with the height boost, I mean,
Yeah.
Evo still has a lot of options, and I like the draft right now. They really haven't completely showed their cards just yet.
Carmilla Claude looks like a good closer here for NIP Flash. Harith is also open, but against Hayabusa, you might reconsider that.
Claude's still open.
Yep. Yeah, Claude's level. Yeah, Carmilla
And
Claude.
honestly,
Thinking,
Beatrix might not be that crazy.
We've been
I mean,
seeing
okay, it's
Beatrix
a bit
too.
difficult against the Yuzong, but
yeah.
we've seen crazier things.
Or Alpha.
Oh, Alpha carries.
Don't
This
say
is
that
gonna be
hero's name.
Yeah. No, I have a thing about Alpha as well. It's hit or miss for me. Like, if it looks amazing, it looks amazing. But yeah.
Until it falls off halfway through the game.
And this.
Oh, it is Alpha. You guys were saying the hero that came up.
Yeah. EVOS might just pick up Harith.
PTSD.
There's no Harith, there's no legitimate Harith stopper for EVOS. So it wins the lane versus the carry. Another good solid pick that is not gonna have any problem is the Lunox that we saw played in the gold lane as well.
Telling you, they're debating, do we go Roam or do we go...
They pick up the Beatrix themselves.
Well, again, looking at the lineup coming in from NIP Flash as well as EVOS, this is definitely interesting where, for me, the focus is going to be in the jungle because, again, Alpha can look good, but usually Alpha goes up against those tankier junglers. But going up against the Hayabusa, well, we're going to see because we're throwing it over to our casters to cast the second game of NIP Flash going up against EVOS Glory.
Thank you so much, guys on the panel desk, of course, to walk us through this draft. And I'll go ahead and say it, it's the Alpha. Trex doesn't want to hear the name.
Yeah,
but
it's the Alpha. I mean, it definitely gave him PTSD, after yesterday's game. If you know, you know. But speaking of, right, this Beatrix pick, an interesting one. Brand's known to go for the Beatrix, but recently, every single time you see something like a Grok, he always goes for Claude. So very interested to see how he's actually going to pull off this Beatrix.
We'll find out if it's going to be enough to get them the 2-0 in this best of 2. Or can NIP Flash go ahead and even out the series, getting another point in Group A? Because this could be pretty big for EVOS Glory if they're able to go ahead and 2-0 NIP Flash after yesterday's performance, 2-0ing throughout Group A. And now at this point, it's going to be interesting, man, because, the points from the draft, I feel like they were really playing a guess game because that's kind of where we are with the meta. A lot of things can be flexed, but like you said, the Claude's not going to be picked up this time, although we did see the Beatrix, getting that Savage yesterday and performing really well. So maybe, part of that plan is for brands to kind of replicate that. It's interesting to see how Beatrix kind of fell off a little bit after her, time, throughout M4 was it? And now where she is being still picked up. Okay, hold on. Early aggression.
Good quad shadow back and forth from Annabelle. Hades going to be very, very low, but Cloudkun was not able to follow it up. So, yeah, speaking of the Beatrix, I agree. Beatrix has kind of fallen in the prio meta, but in the prio of both patches coming back and forth. We did see a few Beatrix games in MPL Indonesia, but it was mainly CW who was the one utilizing it. For brands, as usual, you kind of flip the coin. Are you going to get Mr. Bombastic, or maybe you're going to get Mr. Fantastic? So far, it's been fantastic, though, for brands.
Yeah, we'll see, how he's able to use this. Again, I always say, Beatrix has pretty much a gun for every situation, and that's what makes her still strong in this. But going against the carry, I think you can play around the advantage that you can play at range if you want to, whereas the carry pick for Vanix is a lot more kind of put into a box here and later on has to pop off. But I guess that's where you're really trying to play around the fact that NIP Flash has this hero that is at 100% win rate, and that's the Loi Yi in Curtizi's hands. So far, no teams have dealt with the Loi Yi just yet. Ooh. And you're getting a glimpse at just why, because this early on, two minutes in, look how much damage Loi Yi is able to pump out, especially when you get the passive off here, and it gets that vacuum effect like they mentioned on the desk. So with that, Turtle's going to be up here. JPL's not level 4 just yet.
Look at that damage. Oh my god, Dreams! He's a frontliner and he's taking that much damage from Diablo. And you can see that's why lethal ignition on this Paquito. Hades on it right now with the Alpha. While charging a flicker right into JPL. Able to find Fluffy there. And Diablo's able to zone away Dreams from this Turtle. Forces the Black Dragon from his Annabelle. Goes into the Quad Shadow and the Shadow kill. That's a re-engage. The first blood will be claimed together with a double kill. Annabelle online.
Gets the Sky Piercer already. Again, 1,500 gold for that Sky Piercer. Picks it up at the 3-minute mark. EVOS Glory with a huge skirmish win already. Yeah, they gave up the Turtle. But does it really matter with this lineup that they're going to go for? I mean, we're going to take a look at the replay here brought to us by STC, and you can see this. Great setup. We even get a little pause here to see just how good it was, man. The Petrify was on point. And, that's something that NIP Flash has to worry about. The fact that you have to worry about Fluffy setting in with the Dragon Force and then the Petrify combination. And even for Dreams, so far we've seen Ruby just do such amazing things for whatever teams decide to draft her for the composition. So there's a lot that EVOS Glory can play around, and the same can be said. I mean, Annabelle, once again, rolling with that Warcry emblem, going to really help here.
And it's the layering, right? Coming back from EVOS Glory again. I mentioned it yesterday when I was on the analyst stand, but the fact that now, with Hayabusa, again for... Well, I'm offended on the JPL. They were able to steal it away, but back to the point. Annabelle on an Assassin, not an X-Borg. The layering just feels so much better because they can deplete NIP Flash of all their resources, and then Annabelle comes in to clean up. And that's what we saw, even with the Warcry. Usually we see, what, Lethal Ignition?
Yeah.
But Annabelle's been doing great so far. Picks up the boots as well, so... With the Skypiercer first, I'm expecting him to snowball while charge JPL. Knocking Dreams up straight into the damage of Hades, right into the Spear of Alpha as well. But another realm comes down by Clockun. No wild charge to play with Dreams, able to escape, and Phoenix gets the fadeaway kill as Clockun now is forced back from the Ghost Bursters coming down in his way. Look at Annabelle again with the Skypiercer, getting rid of 2, finding a double, and the executes from that passive.
It just got a lot scarier now. If you're NIP Flash dealing with Annabelle, it's gonna. Oh wait.
With the Quad Shadow back and forth. One more Quad Shadow left there, and Curtizi's going to walk on it. But Annabelle's not going to take it. He knows Vanix is there. Diversion from Curtizi. Where is it going to go? They don't decide to take it now, but...
Little fake out.
4-0 on the Hayabusa. Annabelle is an absolute beast.
And maybe that's the answer, you know, to this 100% win rate, Luigi. Get this Hayabusa online, 4-0, start snowballing, and hope that you're able to go ahead and cap out and proc that Skypiercer. But look at this turtle.
I'm offended, not able to connect. Hades still able to secure the turtle right now as the shadow kill again deals with everyone. JPL forced to flicker back as Fluffy goes in with the Black Dragon form, unable to get the range, still dives in. The passive ticks down and JPL gets taken out under his own tier 1. The Ghost Bursters back and forth bouncing on the NIP Flash members. And EVOS Glory, is that a win?
Yeah, I would say so. You know, with that, it seems like they don't care too much about the objectives as another turtle goes through. Diversion? Do they know?
Yeah, they knew. Fluffy was able to spot it out earlier. No Petrify to be used up. Dreams, no Flicker too, so we can't go for that I'm offended pick. But Brands has been scaling very well too, just farming up.
JPL's here now though too. We'll see if they can just kind of keep this at a dead... Oh, Curtizi. Both teams getting kind of checked there. So I think they're just going to back off real quick at the items. We're going to take a look here. Enchanted Talisman already locked in for Curtizi. You have also the Harness Strike available for Diablo. Side note, I'm glad that Paquito is being played here once again for this. We'll see if that actually is able to scale up really well. Because so far, EVOS Glory, I mean, across the board, like I said, Annabelle is going to be a big problem. They need to go ahead and shut him down. That could give NIP Flash the hope that they need. But already, look at Annabelle waiting patiently. Brands is going to go ahead and push this in because at this point they want to start focusing on these turrets. They need to start getting a space. Diversion?
Oh, Annabelle leaves the bush just in time for the diversion to come through. Hades will go for Brands, forcing to flicker out, chasing him down, and will be able to take him down with the help of Curtizi. As Dreams walks up a bit too late, will get chunked as well. Now in his own jungle, Annabelle will be screened by JPL. They know how to try to manage this in the mid game. Even JPL now with the conceal up top. Dreams able to flicker out from that wild charge. Well played, but still for NIP Flash, it's a big win as they pick up a turret and a pick on Brands.
Yeah, good trades happening here. NIP Flash able to also get that first turret. They might rotate fast enough to go ahead and contest this turtle unless they stall it out. NFL not able to do too much damage to it just yet. Diversion comes in. Hades is the package.
Ooh.
They fight it out.
Spear of Alpha straight into Fluffy, forcing a Petrify defensively with a Rear's Dive as well. JPL doesn't have to wild charge. Dreams in the midst of it all. Goes in for I'm offended. Finds 3, but now the Netherrealm comes down for the side of EVOS Glory, granting them another HP bar. Annabelle goes for the Retribution, finds it, and now an all-out fight breaks out as Annabelle goes in with a Shadow Kill again on the JPL, taking him very low. The wild charge to chain him down, and now it's going to be Diablo who shuts him down with the knockout strike, picks up 2, and forces EVOS Glory back.
Massive pickup. Like we just mentioned, NIP Flash needs to shut down Annabelle. Oh, Brands won't land the shot. But NIP Flash, that's what they had. The diversion!
Diablo again with the help of the diversion. Now you see him, now you don't.
Shut down Annabelle, I said. Now they got to shut down Diablo. Man, this is the Paquito once again into the meta, being played perfectly so far with this Luigi. Looking at the replay here, it unfolded. Yeah, Diablo picks up the Skypiercer too. And you know, I heard the guys on the analyst stand mention this. And you're seeing it here. You thought Paquito had burst before?
Wow.
Look at him now.
They just got deleted.
He's putting that in his gloves, man.
The Singaporean devil, man, on this Paquito. Full damage. As usual, you know, he wants to go for the full damage. The glass cannon. Vanix all alone in the bottom lane, but it doesn't even matter. Diablo up top. Styling on EVOS Glory at this point. Dodging away from the I'm Offended. He might want to go for more here as Hades postures up as well.
Again.
Spear of Alpha onto Annabelle. Still able to dodge away with the Quad Shadow. Jumps back in now with a Shadow kill. It's going to be a big shutdown. If he gets it, he finds it. The assassination out to Cortese, finding one last shuriken, but Cortese gets the shielding, and Hades slashes him to 2. Dreams forced to flicker back. JPL doesn't have to wild charge. Has the barrier though, will wall him away, and now it's gonna be Vanix who slays him. But no, they give it over to Hades now. Brands can only just look for a trade in the mid lane.
All right, they're going to have to just put the pressure there. They're trying to stall JP out while they get that mid turret. It will finally go down, but they should just go ahead and disengage from this. NIP Flash really coming out with the team fights in their favor. And really, you know, it just looked like a moment where Annabelle's like, you know what, I just got to try to get this kill, try to make it work. But then they got sandwiched in, and now this gives NIP Flash an opportunity to start up the Lord here. I'm not sure if they fully commit. Diversion once again.
Oh.
The placement. They're going to spot this one out. Dragon form.
Black Dragon form. 4-man, I'm Offended straight up, and now it's a Brands' damage. The wild charge stops him now. That's going to be Hades jumping to the back line, finding the killing spree. Now the Shadow kill onto JPL and Hades, soaking in all this damage. Annabelle very low, going to be caught by the Spear of Alpha as Hades claims the double. Fluffy on the chase. Hades running away. Diablo in the bush going to be canceled out. That recall. Dreams chasing him down as Diablo goes for a little bit more of that shielding, but Fluffy gets ribbon. It's a 3-for-2 in favor of EVOS Glory.
Talk about a game number 2 between these two teams. Really going for the points here to get that lead into the Group A. But right now with Lord still up, no team for the taking just yet. They want to go ahead and get that upper hand. But even with the last exchange, you're really seeing, you know, Diversion can make or break games. You can use it to just surprise EVOS Glory here, but at the same time, you can get punished when it's spotted out. Ooh. Oof, once again, able to kind of avoid that situation in the mid lane, but both teams still posting up, holding down this side of Lord, and even with items falling into place, Brands, you're going to have to keep an eye for him. He's already got that BOD, the Malefic Roar, working on the next tier. Might go for a little defense too. Once again, they try a different spot. Diversion going to be used by NIP Flash. EVOS Glory, though, taking their time, really just letting Dreams play that front side, try to get the information. They at least hold on to the tier 1 turret too. But at one moment, they know the purple buff's up.
Hades goes for a Spear of Alpha straight into the Yin Yang. Reaction, but they're unable to find it. Oh, Hades finds him when he gets through the Quad Shadow. Now the Mirror's Passion by Brad trying to melt them down, but JPL soaks it all in. Dreams losing immortality, flickers out to safety, and doesn't get taken out with a fadeaway attacks from Vanix. Now Renner's Apathy connecting onto Vanix, getting him low, but he's still able to sustain a bit. Cortese with a diversion just to read it out, and Hades will be able to secure the Lord as Diablo stays up top to create that macro advantage.
Such a good usage of the diversion just to keep EVOS Glory hesitating. We're going to look at the replay here. Brand's placement, keep an eye on it. Able to really kind of fire off here, of course. Lay down that covering fire and keep this from just going all in favor of NIP Flash. They hold them back, but eventually they lose the Lord to it. And like you mentioned, Diablo on screen there, great push by him. So EVOS Glory now finding themselves on the defense. NIP Flash, everything falling into place for him, and I think that's going to be a BOD being picked up next by Diablo. Already has the 2 items, really, that makes him hurt. But once he gets that BOD, that's going to be really tough, unless he also goes Malefic Roar available. But they hold on to it. EVOS Glory on the defense, holding this Lord the best they can. To clear it out, Dragon Form going to be used.
I'm Offended used up as well. Annabelle picks up the BOD. Meanwhile, up top, it's Diablo, who's getting rid of the tier 2. Still for NIP Flash, playing it very, very slow. Trying to go for some of these turrets again as they get rid. Diversion back, JPL! No! With the wild charge, oh, he flickers out of Brands, but a Yin Yang reaction connects. That could have been massive, Naisu! But, oh man, you hate to see it.
You hate to see it, but sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles for JPL. EVOS Glory, though, will be able to buy some more time in the game. Again, you know, it's relatively even. It's nothing too out of scale for EVOS Glory to come back to. So with moments like that, NIP Flash could possibly lose a game in an exchange that doesn't go in their favor. With it trying to set things up, They find themselves out of check once again. But for EVOS Glory, with the lineup that they have, at this point, Annabelle has to be a lot more crucial in these entry points with the Hayabusa pick. We know this is just the nature of these assassins that come up. And same to be said, I mean, Alpha to an extent, once you get towards this mid to late game transition, you're into the late game, you know, the damage that he has in the early game falls off a little bit at this point. So with EVOS Glory, obviously the timings, utilizing that Netherrealm is going to be clutch. Counterplaying these diversions is also important. They've been able to do that relatively well, but every single time the buffs come up here, the purple buffs come up, that's the play from NIP Flash, and right now they're going to go ahead and set things up with this. EVOS Glory really just kind of has to take things slow, you know, until that Lord comes up, until they know that NIP Flash is going to rotate towards it. They're kind of stuck on this side of the map, this side of the base.
Man, nice. You move on real quick. I'm still on that play, man. I'm still on that JPL play. It looked so good with the diversion too, and now JPL might be pulled back. Still has the power of nature though. But you're right, you know, for both these teams, they're going to reset once again. They're going to play with the Lord. And unfortunately for NIP Flash, they weren't able to get the maximum value out of that first Lord. You would want to go for all the tier 2s at this point of the game, but they still have enough prio, enough control over the map to go for the Lord uncontested, it seems. EVOS Glory, they don't have a chance at contesting this. Even with the Black Dragon form, perhaps they might be looking for a fight, but Fluffy just gets chunked. And NIP Flash just say hello to that Flying Dragon.
It was questionable. I mean, the EVOS Glory, I guess they wanted the information from them, but they're way too late. So once again, diversion going to be used on this side of the map. EVOS Glory trying to hold down as long as they can, but they will eventually lose this tier 2 in the mid lane. Real quick, we look to see if their items are falling into place for a successful defense. Like we said, Brands could pop off here a little bit. He's got the Blade of Heptases now available to him, plus the Malefic Roar. Got a little bit of defense with the Wind of Nature available. But interesting, look at all the Winter's Crowns.
Wow, 3 for NIP Flash.
They are looking for the play, because once they go in, use that active, that can buy them enough time, especially when it comes to the base siege here against EVOS Glory, and even help in dealing with Annabelle. It could possibly just negate that shadow kill damage coming through and getting those procs off. So this makes it even more difficult now for Annabelle to play into this. Once this siege starts up, Lord is nearly there. That base turret holds on to just a little bit of health. It's going to lose it once that charge comes through. You can already see NIP Flash getting ready. Knock here, diversion.
Really good waves right now. Annabelle going to be spotted out, and with the diversion, they assassinate the assassin. Clockhood wasn't even able to react in fast enough. Now Hades in the back line, getting rid of the Netherrealm as Clockhood will be flickered over Diablo. Now with Winter's Crown, still able to sustain just a bit as I'm offended, pulls JPL back into the Nibiru's Passion. Dreams finding the kill back. Brands gonna be caught in the yin-yang reaction once again as Black Dragon will be used, but the Spear of Alpha jumps into the back now with the Winter Crowns popped in by Hades, by Kurt, by Vanix. They'll just go straight for the base and they equalize the best of 2. It's 1-1.
And NIP Flash will get the win that they need to stay alive even further here through Group A. 2 matches down already for the day. Still 2 left to go. Where will the fates fall for these teams? As man, it's gonna be a close one. I mean, what we're seeing here already just in these 2 matches